When I started this podcast 5 years ago, I never imagined it would become what it is today. It's a community. It's a safe space. It's a place where we all can breathe a little easier. Your stories and messages, they have shown me that we're all looking for the same thing: connection in a disconnected world. That's why I'm super excited to introduce Calm It Down Deeper. It's not changing the podcast that you know and love. It's creating more space for us to connect. There's going to be morning affirmations, guided meditations. There's already some Sunday reset sessions I'm calling the Calm the Sunday Scaries, and early access to ad-free episodes, all for $5 a month. And right now, there's even a 20% off that. So if you're curious, head over to calmitdownpodcast.com for a free trial. Now, let's get into today's episode. Welcome to part 1 of Still There Somehow. This is a 2-part series that someone emailed me about, but it's about what happens when a relationship ends, but you just can't let the curiosity die. You're not talking anymore. You know it's over. But there you are again, checking their profile like it's your part-time job. Not because you want to text them, just because, right? Some days it feels casual. Other days it feels like digging through the ruins of something that almost was. This isn't about rules or screen time. It's about why we keep checking in on someone who is no longer checking in on us. And what we're actually hoping to find when we do. So let's go just a bit deeper about what they made you feel and how part of you still hopes you'll feel it again, even if it's just through a screen. I'm Chad Lawson, and let's calm it down in 3, 2, 1. Let's be honest, sometimes the finger, it moves faster than the brain can catch up. You open your phone to check the weather, and then 10 minutes later, you're deep in a scroll through someone's life who hasn't been in yours for months, maybe even years. And it doesn't even make sense. I mean, you're not trying to rekindle anything. You're not even sure what you're looking for. Proof that they're miserable, proof that they miss you, or just validation that you meant something, that you still mean something. Guess what? You're human. And humans do something funny when there's emotional unfinished business. Not because we want to go back, but because we haven't figured out how to let go. So when a relationship ends, romantic, platonic, even professional, a lot of times it leaves behind something that I like to call emotional residue. It's the echoing of attention, right? It's that muscle memory of being seen by someone in a specific way, even if it wasn't healthy, even if it ended for good reason. You don't miss them necessarily. You miss who you were with them. Maybe they made you feel funny or worthy or even just wanted. Maybe they reflected back a version of yourself you secretly wish you could access again. But here's where it gets complicated, because it does. Social media, it lets us keep ghosts on life support. You can keep someone alive in your emotional ecosystem just by tapping a screen. That tiny hit of digital contact, it creates this illusion of being close, this phantom connection almost. And that version of you that used to shine in their attention, it doesn't want to disappear. So you scroll, not for them, but for the flicker of the person who you were with them. Which then brings us to the myth of closure. We like to think closure is like this neat conversation with a tidy bow at the end, but a lot of times it's silent. It's a quiet decision to stop asking the same questions that never gave you the answer. You may never know why they stopped texting, why they ghosted after months of talking, why they moved on so quickly. And even if you did know, would it change? It wouldn't rewrite your worth. It wouldn't change who you are, but it might stop the scroll. So I want to talk about this. Sometimes we don't miss the person. We miss the fantasy, the potential, the what if. Social media, it helps us create feeds that are well-lit lives, and it makes it far too easy for us to get caught up in what could have been. But the fantasy is just that. It's a fantasy. The longer you feed it, the harder it is to find peace in reality. So what do? Well, let me show you this exercise. Close your eyes if you are in a safe space. Bring that person to mind. Don't run from the discomfort. Just let it be there. Now say to yourself, thank you for the role you played, but I'm writing the next chapter without you. It sounds simple, maybe even corny, but naming the end, that's powerful. And then go into your phone and mute them. Not block, not unfollow if that feels too dramatic. Just mute them. Reclaim your space and your peace without needing to make a scene. Then, and this is important, take note. Take note of what you were hoping to feel when you checked their profile. Wanted, validated, jealous, nostalgic. And that feeling is your real cue. That feeling is what needs attention. Because that is a version of you that's still healing. Whoa, did you hear that? That is the version of you that is still healing. So here's what they can't post. How much you've grown. The tears that you have cried and the ones you haven't needed to cry lately. The grace that you've given yourself. The nights that you've slept better. The mornings you didn't reach for your phone. And the version of you they once saw, that version still exists. But you don't need their eyes to prove it. You never did. You never did. So I want to challenge you. Today, stop visiting the museum of who you used to be. I'm going to say that again. Stop visiting the museum of who you used to be. It's time to come home, to build something new in the space that checking their profile used to live. And this is a process. You're untangling a lot, and it takes time. So give yourself some grace, because you're doing the hard work. You are, of letting go of someone who isn't holding on. That's hard, but it's brave, and it's beautiful, and it's rewarding, and it's better. It is. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. And until next time, be kind to your mind and join me again as we calm it down. So as we wrap up, I'm reminded of why we're here. We're here to find moments of peace in our busy lives. And if you'd like more of those moments, I encourage you to check out Calm It Down Deeper. You can head over to calmitdownpodcast.com and look for Calm It Down Deeper, as you'll find that we will have guided meditations, ad-free episodes, and many more things to help you deepen your calm, and also just to build this community that we are doing this together. I hope you check it out. Either way, thank you for being here. And until next time, be kind to your mind. To find more episodes of Calm It Down, see where I may be appearing in your area, or just simply want to know where to send me some chocolate chip cookies, visit calmitdownpodcast.com. This podcast was written and produced by yours truly, Chad Lawson, composer, pianist, and nationally recognized Sweet Tooth. The views, expressions, and techniques in this episode are of my personal opinion and not intended, nor should they, serve as a substitute for medical advice or diagnosis rendered to you by your individual doctor or other healthcare provider. Only a licensed physician should evaluate your situation, provide a diagnosis, or render other medical advice to you, and you should only act upon the advice of this physician. Now, I'm an extreme empath by nature, but my profession is that of a composer and pianist, not a licensed therapist or physician. I hear from thousands of listeners how my music has helped them through various stages of emotional needs, and I simply want to offer this in future podcast episodes to aid those needs. So to find a list of licensed professionals in your area, please visit calmitdownpodcast.com. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a review, or better yet, share it with a friend. While it takes less than 60 seconds to do, its impact will last for years to come, as every little bit helps in growing the awareness and the importance of mental and emotional health. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. And until next time, be kind to your mind and join me again as we calm it down.